The Shahed-129 that lifts off from a prepared launch site on the Qeshm Island plateau at 4:11 local time is, by the standards of the Islamic Republic's unmanned aerial program, a serious piece of work. It has a wingspan of 8 meters. It can stay airborne for 24 hours. It carries an electro-optical and infrared sensor suite that can transmit live video via satellite relay to a ground control station in real time. It has been used by the IRGC in Syria, in Yemen, and along the Iraqi border. It is the closest thing the Islamic Republic of Iran has to an MQ-9 Reaper, and the comparison is not entirely unfair if you are willing to accept that the Reaper has a larger sensor suite, better data link architecture, more capable weapons integration, and a production program backed by an industrial base that does not need to reverse engineer components from captured foreign hardware. But the Shahed-129 is real. It flies, it collects. And at 4:11 local time, the intelligence officer who authorized this mission is confident that it is going to do something that no other Iranian asset has managed in the past 14 months. Get close enough to USS Abraham Lincoln to provide targeting quality imagery of the carrier's flight deck configuration, ordnance loadout, and operating posture in the northern Arabian Sea. The plan is straightforward. Launch before dawn, when the carrier's air defense tempo is at its lowest. Climb to 18,000 feet, high enough to be above most rotary wing intercept envelopes, low enough to maintain data link quality with the ground station relay on the Qeshm Plateau. Fly a direct approach on bearing 178 from the launch point toward Lincoln's last known position, updated 40 minutes ago by a commercial satellite pass, close to within 20 nautical miles. Activate the electro-optical sensor, transmit, document the carrier's flight deck configuration, return. The entire mission profile is designed to stay outside what the intelligence officer believes is the carrier strike group's standard combat air patrol radius. He has the combat air patrol radius wrong by 31 nautical miles. The carrier is USS Abraham Lincoln, CVN-72, operating in the northern Arabian Sea at 4:11, local 210 nautical miles southeast of the Strait of Hormuz. She is not, at this hour, conducting flight operations. The flight deck is configured for the overnight stand-down. Aircraft spotted on deck in a specific pattern that reflects tomorrow morning's planned launch sequence. The deck crew rotated to the minimum watch required for overnight maintenance. The ship is at the lowest operational tempo of her 24-hour cycle. This is the window the intelligence officer has selected. What the window also represents is the period when the E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, which has been orbiting at 24,000 feet since 2200 local the previous evening, has its full radar and sensor suite operating in surveillance mode, rather than the more active combat air patrol support mode it runs during flight operations. In surveillance mode, the E-2D's AN/APY-9 radar is optimized for finding things it has not yet found, rather than managing things it already knows about. It sweeps broader sectors at longer ranges. It is, in the surveillance configuration, a more sensitive instrument for detecting new contacts than it is in the busier flight operations support configuration. The Shahed-129 crosses the Iranian coastline at 4:23 local. The E-2D detects it at 4:23:41 local, 41 seconds after coastal crossing. The contact is logged as an unmanned aerial vehicle based on its speed, approximately 210 kilometers per hour, which falls in the range consistent with the Shahed-129 class, its altitude profile, and its track, which is bearing 178 from the Qeshm Island area on a heading consistent with an intercept of Lincoln's known operating area. The E-2D's mission crew commander annotates the contact. He classifies it as an Iranian reconnaissance drone with moderate confidence. He disseminates the track to the strike group via Link 16. This takes 11 seconds from initial detection. USS Abraham Lincoln's Combat Information Center receives the contact at 4:23:52 local. The tactical action officer, who has been on watch since midnight, notes the contact with the professional attention of someone whose job includes being alert at 4:23 in the morning and who is, in fact, alert. He reports to the commanding officer. He reports to the flag watch. He generates the intercept vector for the two F/A-18F Super Hornets on overnight combat air patrol. Call signs Sabre 1 and Sabre 2, currently orbiting at 22,000 feet on a racetrack pattern 47 nautical miles northwest of the carrier. He notes that the Shahed-129's current track, if maintained, will bring it to within 19 nautical miles of Lincoln in approximately 94 minutes. He has 94 minutes and two FA-18Fs. He does not need 94 minutes. The vulnerability that matters here is not about the intercept. The intercept is straightforward. Two Super Hornets against a drone flying at 210 kilometers per hour is a geometry problem with a solution that was never in doubt. The vulnerability is about what the Shahed-129 is doing before Sabre flight reaches it, and specifically about the data link it is transmitting on. The Shahed-129 satellite relay operates on a specific frequency allocation in the Q band. This frequency has been known to U.S. signals intelligence since 2017, when the first Shahed-129 was observed operating in Syria and its data link emissions were collected. The Carrier Strike Group's electronic intelligence architecture has the Shahed-129 data link frequency in its library. What the library entry currently contains is the frequency, the signal format, and the encryption characteristics from collection events in Syria and Yemen, all of which were either training operations or combat operations against non-U.S. assets, conducted under conditions where the IRGC ground control station was not managing a high-priority intelligence collection mission against a U.S. carrier strike group. What the library entry does not contain, yet, is the operational data link characteristics of a Shahed-129 conducting an active intelligence collection mission against a U.S. carrier, the specific modulation settings under operational sensor load, the compression algorithm used when transmitting high-resolution electro-optical imagery, the data link power output when the relay station is being tasked at maximum collection priority, and the telemetry format that carries the drone's own position data back to the ground station. These are different from exercise and combat support operation parameters in ways that matter to electronic intelligence exploitation. They are about to be collected. At 4:31 local, the Shahed-129 activates its electro-optical sensor. The sensor activation is detected by the strike group's electronic intelligence suite in 0.4 seconds. The sensor's gimbal drive motor produces a specific electromagnetic emission when it initializes, a minor detail that is in the library from previous collection and that provides confirmation of the drone's mission intent. The sensor is now active. The drone is collecting. It is also transmitting those collections to the ground station via the satellite relay, and every transmission is being received by the electronic intelligence systems covering this section of the Arabian Sea. The signal is encrypted. The encryption is not broken. The content of the transmission, the actual imagery, is not being read in real time. What is being read in real time is everything about the transmission except the imagery itself, the modulation parameters, the compression ratio indicated by the data rate, the error correction overhead, the burst timing, and the specific packet structure that the Shahed-129 uses when it is transmitting high-priority sensor data rather than routine status telemetry. All of it is going into the collection log. All of it will be in the updated library entry by morning. Sabre 1 is vectored onto the Shahed-129's track at 0434 local. The intercept geometry puts the FA-18F closure at approximately 14 minutes from the vector point. Sabre 2 takes a parallel track 4 nautical miles south, covering the geometry in case the drone alters course. The E-2D is providing continuous track updates. The Shahed-129's track has not varied by more than 2 degrees from its initial heading since coastal crossing. It is flying a pre-programmed route. Pre-programmed routes are predictable. Predictable contacts are easy to intercept. On the ground station on the Qeshm Plateau, the crew is watching the live video feed. The feed, at 4:34 local, is showing the northern Arabian Sea from 18,000 feet. Dark water, horizon haze, the faint luminescence of bioluminescence in the wave patterns below. The carrier has not yet appeared in the sensor's field of view. The ground station crew is patient. They have been briefed on the mission profile. The carrier should appear in approximately 68 minutes at current closure rate. In the strike group's Combat Information Center, the Tactical Action Officer is watching Sabre 1's Intercept track converge with the Shahed-129's track on his display. He notes the estimated time to intercept. He notes the drone's continued transmission activity on the electronic intelligence feed. It is still actively transmitting. He notes that the intelligence value of the transmission continues to accumulate with every passing minute. There is no operational reason to rush the intercept. Sabre 1 has been given a standard intercept profile. The standard intercept profile is not slow. It is simply not faster than it needs to be, and it does not need to be faster than 14 minutes. At 4:41 local, Sabre 1 achieves radar contact on the Shahed-129 at 22 nautical miles. The FA-18F's AN/APG-79 active electronically scanned array radar resolves the drone as a small, slow-moving aerial contact consistent with the E-2D's classification. At this range, the pilot can see the contact on his radar, but not visually. He closes to 11 nautical miles. At 11 nautical miles, in the pre-dawn darkness, the Shahed-129 appears on the F/A-18F's FLIR system, a warm object against the cold night sky, moving at 210 kilometers per hour on a steady heading, completely unaware that it is being observed by a radar and an infrared system, simultaneously from a platform that is matching its track from a position outside its own sensor coverage. The Shahed-129 does not have a radar warning receiver capable of detecting the APG-79's low probability of intercept emission mode. If it did, it would have been alert since 4:41 local. It is not alert. It is flying its programmed route, transmitting its sensor data, doing exactly what the intelligence officer on the Qeshm Plateau planned for it to do. It is also incidentally delivering an electronic intelligence seminar to every collection system within range of the Arabian Sea. Sabre 1's pilot makes a radio call at 4:43 local. The call is to the carrier's Combat Information Center. Visual on the contact, requesting clearance for engagement. The clearance is given. The pilot selects the appropriate engagement method. In this case, the AIM-9X Sidewinder, a short-range infrared homing air-to-air missile that is relative to a drone flying at 210 kilometers per hour at constant altitude, approximately the equivalent of using a precision-guided weapon on a very large, very slow, very cooperative target. The AIM-9X costs approximately $604,000. The Shahed-129 costs approximately $500,000 to produce, based on open-source assessments of Iran's UAV manufacturing costs. The U.S. has spent more money on the weapon than the target is worth, which is the kind of arithmetic that appears in Pentagon acquisition discussions and is, in context, entirely justified. The AIM-9X leaves the F/A-18F's left wingtip station at 4:44:17 local. The Shahed-129's infrared signature, 8 meters of warm composite structure, and a running piston engine is exactly the kind of target the AIM-9X's imaging infrared seeker was designed to acquire and track. The missile covers the distance in approximately 3 seconds. The Shahed-129 which has been transmitting continuously since 4:31 local and has disclosed everything about its datalink operation that the intelligence community was interested in collecting, ceases to be a viable aerial platform at 4:44:20 local. The debris falls into the Arabian Sea approximately 141 nautical miles north of USS Abraham Lincoln. The carrier was never in the drone's sensor field of view. The Shahed-129's electro-optical sensor, active since 4:31 local, produced 13 minutes and 20 seconds of Arabian Sea imagery before the intercept. None of that imagery contained USS Abraham Lincoln. The imagery did contain the horizon, the water surface, the sensor's calibration patterns, and the specific operational characteristics of the Shahed-129's electro-optical system under active collection load, all of which are now in the U.S. Intelligence Archive, in a format that can be cross-referenced against future collection events. The ground station on the Qeshm Plateau lost the data link at 4:44:20 local. The loss is abrupt, not the gradual signal fade that indicates a drone returning to base, but the instantaneous cut that indicates structural failure. The ground station crew logs the loss as a probable intercept. The intelligence officer who authorized the mission has been awake since 03:00 local. He notes the time of data link loss. He notes the drone's position at last known track, which is approximately 141 nautical miles from the carrier's operating area. He notes that the drone's sensor field of view at 18,000 feet has a maximum useful range of approximately 30 nautical miles for targeting quality imagery, which means the drone was intercepted 111 nautical miles outside the range at which it could have generated the imagery it was sent to collect. He did not have the combat air patrol radius wrong by 31 nautical miles. He had it wrong by at least 111 nautical miles, depending on how you measure combat air patrol radius for strike group, whose E-2D detected his drone 41 seconds after coastal crossing, and whose FA-18Fs were vectored onto intercept before the drone had been airborne for 25 minutes. He writes his mission report. The section on operational conclusions is brief. The intelligence picture from the engagement is, as in every encounter, more durable than the engagement itself. The Shahed-129's data link emission profile under operational collection load has been recorded for 13 minutes and 20 seconds at close range. The collection covers the complete operational cycle from sensor initialization to active transmission, including the specific modulation transitions that occur when the electro-optical system is tasked at maximum resolution versus survey resolution, and the specific error correction overhead that indicates the encryption algorithm variant in use. The previous library entry for the Shahed-129 data link was built from Syria and Yemen collection events, where the ground station was managing combat support operations. The operational parameters for a high-priority intelligence collection mission are different. Higher data link power, tighter compression, more frequent burst transmission. All of these differences are now characterized and in the library. The characterization has operational implications. The specific modulation signature of a Shahed-129 in high-priority intelligence collection mode, as opposed to combat support mode, is now a detectable fingerprint. The next time an IRGC ground station tasks a Shahed-129 on a high-priority collection mission, the transition from standard operating parameters to collection mode parameters will be detectable at the ground station itself before the drone is anywhere near the collection target. The warning time that the intelligence community gains from detecting a Shahed-129 transitioning to collection mode at a ground station in Iran is potentially hours, not the 41 seconds that the E-2D needed to detect the drone after coastal crossing. This is not the intelligence the IRGC intelligence officer was trying to collect. It is the intelligence he produced instead. The sensor gimbal initialization emission, The electromagnetic signature of the Shahed-129's electro-optical sensor activating has been added to the library with the operational timing data that shows the transition from cruise mode to active collection mode. Future detections of this signature, even at long range, will provide cueing that a Shahed-129 has transitioned to active collection status. The sensor activation is a behavioral data point as well as a technical one. The drone activated its sensor at 141 nautical miles from the carrier, which indicates the IRGC's operational planning assumed useful imagery was achievable at that range, which indicates either a misunderstanding of the sensor's actual performance characteristics or a planning assumption that the drone would be able to close considerably farther before intercept. The telemetry data recorded from the drone's position transmissions, broadcast back to the ground station in the standard Shahed-129 format, includes the drone's GPS position at each transmission interval, 13 minutes and 20 seconds of position data transmitted every 30 seconds, provides 26 GPS position fixes that can be compared against the radar track to characterize the accuracy of the drone's GPS navigation system. The comparison indicates the Shahed-129's GPS navigation has drifted approximately 340 meters from its commanded track over the 13-minute collection window. A drift consistent with the GPS receiver quality assessed in previous collection events, now confirmed under operational rather than exercise conditions. 340 meters of navigation drift over 13 minutes on a direct approach flight profile against a target 141 nautical miles away. The imagery the drone would have produced, had it survived to collection range, would have required its navigation to close an additional 111 nautical miles while continuing to accumulate GPS drift. The targeting quality of any imagery produced at the end of that approach, combined with the carrier's own movement over the 94 minutes of the full approach profile, makes the _1_1_ mission objective considerably more ambitious than the intelligence officer's planning document reflected. These are technical conclusions. They will be in the intelligence product. They will inform the assessment of what the Shahed-129 program can and cannot do, which is an assessment that has just become significantly more accurate. Sabre 1 returns to the carrier at 5:11 local. The pilot's debrief notes the contact, the intercept, the weapon employment, and the observation that the drone was flying a completely pre-programmed route with no apparent awareness of the intercept until the AIM-9X achieved guidance. The debrief is added to the engagement log. The engagement log joins the electronic intelligence package for transmission to Pacific Command and the Office of Naval Intelligence. USS Abraham Lincoln begins her morning flight operations at 600 local. The first launch of the day includes 16F/A 18F and E/A 18G sorties for the CENTCOM exercise package. The flight deck crew, who were not informed of the overnight intercept during their sleep period, arrived to their stations to find the deck configured exactly as it was when they left. The overnight spot plan undisturbed, the aircraft in the positions planned for the morning launch sequence. The tactical action officer who managed the intercept has been relieved by the morning watch. He has submitted his log. He goes below for what remains of his off-watch period before the next rotation. The Shahed-129 datalink library entry is updated and distributed to the fleet by 800 local. Every electronic intelligence system in the 5th and 7th fleets that monitors the relevant frequency band now has the operational collection mode signature in its detection algorithm. The next Shahed-129 that transitions from cruise mode to collection mode will be recognized in that transition, not in the 41 seconds after coastal crossing. The recognition will happen at the ground station emission, which is detectable before the drone takes off. The IRGC's Shahed-129 program has just made its own operations more transparent than they were yesterday morning, in exchange for 13 minutes and 20 seconds of Arabian Sea horizon imagery. On the Qeshm Plateau, the ground station crew is completing the mission loss report. The datalink loss was instantaneous. The last position fix was 141 nautical miles from the target. The drone was in the air for 33 minutes and 9 seconds before loss of contact. The mission duration from launch to intercept represents approximately 2% of the Shahed-129's 24-hour endurance rating, which means the U.S. Navy used a $604,000 missile to intercept a drone that had consumed approximately 1% of its fuel. The intelligence officer's operational conclusion section grows slightly longer. By 9 a.m. local, Iranian state media describes an IRGC Shahed-129 completing a successful maritime reconnaissance mission demonstrating the Islamic Republic's capability to monitor and track hostile naval forces in regional waters. The successful completion of the mission is characterized as confirming Iran's persistent surveillance capability against American carrier strike groups. The mission's conclusion, described as occurring after the drone had achieved its collection objectives, is not detailed with specificity about what those collection objectives were or what imagery was obtained, because the imagery obtained was 13 minutes and 20 seconds of open water and horizon haze at 18,000 feet, which is not imagery that supports the broadcast framing without considerable editorial assistance. The AIM-9X impact time of 4:44:20 local is not mentioned. The debris field, 141 nautical miles north of the carrier, is not mentioned. The 41-second E-2D detection time is not mentioned. The Shahed-129 datalink library update distributed to the 5th and 7th fleets at 0800 local is not mentioned. These are understandable omissions. The broadcast has a purpose. The archive has a different purpose. Both will outlast the morning. Bye for now.